What is going on, everyone?
Hi guys.
And we've got a little bit of a sort of treat for you.
Sorry, the sun's in my eyes.
Yeah, the sun's
So
right
I'm
there.
squinting and I'm making funny faces.
We're at a location. It could be a folklore. It could be an urban legend. Who knows? Except for the few workers here, they have confirmed it, but they don't want to talk about it much.
And they do know that we're on this property. It is private property. They gave us a thumbs up, so we're okay.
So we're going to tell you a little bit of the history of the folklore, urban legend, East Tennessee folklore legend also.
There's some weird, strange noises coming from behind me.
Yeah, true. We might come up here at night. You never know. And I'm going to pass it to her and let her tell you the history of this folklore.
Okay. This is about Mary the Elephant. She was born in 1894 to 1916. She was also known as Murderous Mary. She was a 5-ton Asian elephant who performed in Sparks' world-famous shows Circus. After killing a keeper on his second day at work in Kingsport, Tennessee in 1916, she was hung in nearby Erwin. Now this is where we go and told you that we do have permission and we do have semi-confirmed accounts of this. The CSX people do not want to go in full-blown detail, but however, they said if she was buried here, she'd be buried somewhere over here. All of this is private property.
Mainly right there behind that shed in that general area somewhere through these hills. I'm going to paint it back.
And on September the 11th of 1916, this is a little bit of how she killed him. A homeless man named Red Eldridge, who landed a job as a trainist hotel clerk, was hired as an elephant keeper by the Sparks world famous show Circus. He was killed by Mary in Sullivan County, Tennessee on the following evening. Although unqualified, Eldridge led the elephant parade, riding aside Mary's back. Mary was the star of the show, walking at the front. There have been several accounts of his death. One reported by W.H. Coleman, who claimed to be a witness, is that he prodded her behind the ear with a hook after she reached down to nibble on a watermelon rind. She went into a rage, snatched Eldridge with her trunk, threw him against a drink stand, and stepped on his head, crushing it. A temporary newspaper account from the Johnson City staff said that Mary collided its trunk vice-like about Eldridge's body, lifted him 10 feet in the air, then dashed him with fury to the ground. And with the force of her beastly fury, is said to have sunk her giant tusks entirely through his body. The animal then trampled the dying form of Eldridge as if seeking a murderous triumph, when with a sudden swing of her massive foot hurled his body into the crowd. The details of the aftermath are confusing. I'd say so, because there's a lot of accountability of the maze of sensational newspaper stories and folklore. Most accounts indicate that she calmed down afterwards and did not charge the onlookers, who began chanting, "Kill the elephant, let's kill it." Within minutes, the local blacksmith, Hence Cock, tried to kill Mary, firing 5 rounds with little effect. Meanwhile, the leaders of several nearby towns threatened not to allow the circus to visit if Mary was included. The circus owner, Charlie Sparks, reluctantly decided that the only way to quickly resolve the potential ruder situation was to kill the wounded elephant in public. On the following day, a foggy and rainy September the 13th of 1916, Mary was transported by rail to Unauthorized County, Tennessee, where a crowd of over 2,500 people, including most of the town's children, assembled to the Clinchfield Railroad Yard. The elephant was hung by the neck from a rail car mounted industrial derrick between 4 o'clock and 5 o'clock that afternoon. The first attempt resulted in a snapped chain, causing Mary to fall and break her hip as dozens of children fled in terror. The severely wounded elephant died during the second attempt and was buried beside the tracks. A veterinarian examined Mary after the hanging and determined she had a severely infected tooth in the precise spot where Red Eldridge had prodded her. The authenticity of a widely distributed and heavily retouched photo of her death was disputed years later by a magazine.
So right there is where we think, and where the CSX people has semi-confirmed
And here's our photo.
Right there's the photo of the hanging. That's just kind of creepy, but
yeah, this is sensitive material. We did talk to, like I said,
we talked to a supervisor, and
he knew about it. He knew exactly
he's
what
heard about it.
Yeah, he knew exactly what we were talking about because he heard about it, but he didn't want to go in grave detail. He said if she was buried here, then more than likely they did remove her, but that he was not for sure, and she was buried somewhere on this grounds.
That is if it is true. And also, that'd be right behind that building, somewhere in those fielded areas.
Yep.
Somewhere. It could be anywhere on this property.
Yeah, that's true.
Most definitely could be anywhere.
But this is sensitive material. Viewer discretion is advised.
Yeah. The kids ran in terror then.
And they're probably running terror now because, it's an elephant. Yeah. She did weigh 12 tons, was it? 2 tons? 12 tons?
Whatever an Asian elephant weighs.
Oh, I will look again to make
But this
sure.
I'll tell you also, this is Erwin, Tennessee too, so.
She weighed 5 tons. She was 11 foot tall, 11 foot 9 inches.
Almost 12 foot tall. And can you imagine getting trampled by one of those?
But yeah, that's the crane, known as a derrick, the hunger. So.
I mean, she could be anywhere on this property. And then again, it could just be a folklore
Her
too.
skills included playing musical instruments and pitching baseballs.
I still hate to pitch a baseball with a
She was only about 22 years old. That's pretty young for an elephant.
But yeah, Erwin, Tennessee, CSX. Over that way a little bit. And all this property is technically private property. But we did run into a supervisor that works in that building right there. And the bigger building behind it is the actual main offices of CSX. But downtown Erwin, this is actually the first time we've been down here in a long time. But yeah. Old Tennessee legend, old folklore. Could be anywhere. Be kind of strange if we heard an elephant.
Yep.
Scream. And just.
But yeah, we thought we'd let you know we're going to get off this property because there wasn't that many people here when we got here. So I'm pretty sure the law doesn't know that we have permission. So we're going to get off here.
And the only reason why is we think it's a. Is it?
Yep.
And the only reason why, they didn't see much detail is because
you need to hurry.
They didn't want a lot of people here. So, alright, we're going to end this. Hope you all have a wonderful day. Whatever the day can be a great day for you. Say hello to Mr. Officer.
We're lucky. Don't. What are you doing?
Say bye-bye to the officer.
It's security and it's heavily
No, I
guarded
said
here.
police.
It said, yeah, he's security too.
See, this is what we do. Alright, well, we'll see you all later. We'll see you all later. Hope you all have a wonderful rest of your evening. And see you all later.